Hello and welcome back to Rod's Tabletop Hoops. I'm going to start this video with a little bit of an addition to my prior video regarding the Bank Shot Basketball College set of teams 0-1. I had a little bit of a break in my video last time. I don't know if you recall it when I was reviewing the St. John's Red Storm Red Men at the time. And the video had cut out, and I picked up where I left off with the champions. But I didn't realize that I had omitted 6 teams, which I had talked about, that I called competitive teams. And here's the first one. I'm just going to go through them very quickly. This is the 69-70 Louisiana State Tigers, led by Pistol Pete Maravich in his 44.5 points, his 5.3 rebounds, and his 6.2 assists per game. He shot 44.7, but you can tell he's got a lot of teammates that shot in the 50s and grabbed a ton of boards. So when Pete was bricking, they were coming and grabbing those boards. And there's Pistol right there. Pete looking good. He doesn't have he does draw a lot of fouls, from 75 to 85 while shooting, and 86 to 93 just a regular foul. So if they can get into the bonus with the 7th team foul, this should be quite a free throw fest for Pistol Pete. Not known for his defense or anything, but LSU, they were not an incredible team, but they did finish second to Kentucky and Dan Issel in the SEC. This was a pretty good team overall. Definitely worth putting in a set of cards. Another note I was just going to make is S.T. Patrick, editor for the Sports Sim magazine. He has taken a huge role in producing, at least picking the teams, scientifically picking these teams, and getting a balance of teams for each of these college sets. 0-1, 0-2, and 0-3 are out now for Bank Shot Basketball in both PDF and printed formats. And the sale right now is $24. I believe regular price will just be $29, $5 more plus shipping. But he has not only designed these 3 sets, he says he's got plenty more sets of Bank Shot Basketball down the pike. So, for instance, my Oregon State Beavers haven't made an appearance in sets 1 through 3, but he says, there's probably a Gary Payton-led team from the late 80s. You know, who knows if the early 80s Steve Johnson team will be in there. But S.T. Patrick is doing a fine job putting these sets together in a way that makes them all individually entertaining without having to acquire all of them, unless that's what you desire. But I've got 30 teams right here. It's going to keep me occupied for quite a long time with some NCAA action. So following Louisiana State, we have the Purdue Boilermakers. Now, Purdue, they came on the scene in 2023. They have this big, huge center in Zach Edey, who shoots 61% from the field. And there's his card right there. Zach, one heck of a ball player, a huge ball player. And they had a lot of the skeptics worried about Purdue. They were doing so well. They were close to number 1 in the country, and they slowed down just a little bit and didn't get over super far in the NCAA tournament. But boy, what a surprise team. And he's coming back, I believe, for this last season. So that should be an interesting team. Moving on to the next team, going back to 1992, that's good old Bobby Knight and the Indiana Hoosiers, who played at a pace of -3. They kind of slogged it up there a little bit, but they got a fast break offense of B, and they were mostly led by some minor players. I would just say Alan Henderson made some NBA waves, as well as Calvert Chaney, another very solid small forward, and Damon Bailey, who was just a really solid player at the college level, but didn't do much at the pro level. So there's your Indiana Hoosiers, 27-7, 14-4 in the Big Ten, and second place. Overall, they were 5th in the AP poll at the end of the year. Next, we have a very exciting team known as the Loyola Marymount Lions from the WCC. I don't know if they call it WCC back then, but they definitely were a very competitive team, coached by Paul Westhead. Most people know this is the team that ran roughshod over the college ranks with the 122 points per game en route to a 26-6 record. Hank Gathers was a fantastic player, the late and great Hank Gathers. They also had another player named Bo Kimble who threw in just a measly 35.3 points per game. So let's see if we can take a look at Bo here. And there he is. He gets to the line quite a bit, gets some shots. But they literally were taking shots. The shot clock wasn't running much. And I think the shot clock was a pretty new thing back in 1990 for college. But you can see their team card. Offense, fast break, AA. Pace, plus 11. That equals 11 more cards per every 10 minutes played. So maybe as men, depending on the opposing team, you could have 22 extra cards per half. So that might take a little extra time, but you got to get at Loyola and their opponent over 100 points a game, as you can see right here. Next on the docket, of course, is the Iowa Hawkeyes, led by Luka Garza. 24 points a game, 55% from the floor, 44% from three. He was a big man who could really fill it up. And Iowa, they'd like to step up the pace a little bit, plus 4, 83.7 points a game, but although their fast break is just D. They were coached by McCaffrey, and he, of course, had two of his sons on the team, including Connor McCaffrey. They also had the Murray twins, I believe, on the team as well. They had a lot of interesting ball players, and there's Patrick. Slight bit of nepotism, perhaps, but that happens at the college level once in a while. Chris Murray. And, of course, at the back of the pile is Luka Garza, who can score with the best of them. And finally, team number 6. We'll just call them the Fighting Illini of Illinois. 1989, 31-5 team. Marcus Liberty leading the way up there. And Kendall Gill, who didn't really come off the bench. I just threw him on the bench because he missed over half the games, and I didn't... you can do whatever you want with him, obviously. If you want to get him more touches, you can do that. Illinois, let's see, their offense is pretty solid with the fast break of AA. Pace is -1, though, so it's interesting how those factors work. You can get more fast breaks, but they're not overly super fast on pace, merely an average pace team at -1. So I would say Nick Anderson's one of the more popular guys on the team. He averaged around 19 points a game. And he was a very solid scorer in addition to Kendall Gill. Gill was usually a good stealer. Let's see if there's any steals. 2-9 on his steals from 45 to 69. Yeah, definitely a great stealer, a great rebounder for his 6'5" frame. And he had a pretty solid NBA career as well. But this is a great team. The Illini of Illinois, 1989. All right, we're tuning in to a live game here between the LMU Lions and the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Gonzaga's team's from 2021, and Loyola Marymount is from 1989-90. Loyola Marymount, as many know, was a very high-scoring team. Back in the year, they had Hank Gathers, Bo Kimble, Jeff Fryer, three guys scoring well over 21 a game. Bo averaged 35.3. This team, in essence, has a much higher pace than any team you'll ever find. The pace of plus 11 per every card deck, every 10-minute card deck, pushes the number of shots per game way up because Loyola Marymount out of the WCC just did not pass the ball too much. They went down, they'd pass it, shoot it right away. Very few seconds came off the shot clock. And I think back in 1990, I just watched a game. They actually had a 45-second shot clock in college basketball, which was really, not needed in this day and age. But back then, that was a big deal because people would stall back in the early days of college basketball. Gonzaga, by contrast, they're also a pretty good offensive team, but they play in the modern era. They have a pace of plus 3, so it looks like a plus 11 plus a plus 3 is plus 14 cards per every 10-minute shuffle of the cards. So anyhow, this game has just been a little bit wild. At halftime, LMU led 76-70. Both teams took 52 field goal attempts, and Bo Kimble had 20. Hank Gathers had 22, and Jeff Fryer in limited time had 10 points in the first half. Tyrell Lowry came off the bench with 11 for Gonzaga. 12 points for Kispert. Drew Timme, he had a little bit of foul trouble. Timme had some foul trouble, 10 points. But the star of the game was Jalen Suggs, 28 points on 12 of 17 in that first half. He kind of just took over. So we're getting a lot of shots. Gonzaga only averaged 61 field goal attempts per game. And for them to get 52 field goal attempts in the first half was quite amazing, a little bit alarming, but it still made for an exciting game. I'm still learning this game. This is truly my only second effort at this basketball game here called Bank Shot, and I'm learning a few things here and there. I'm referring to the instruction manual still quite often, so it took me over 2 hours plus to play the first half, and now I'm late in the second half, about 5 minutes to play. LMU has jumped ahead by 15 points, 136-121. I'll give you updated scoring on those guys when it is available here. Let me just see what I've got right off the bat. I'm having trouble finding my little icon here, but it looks like whoops, sorry. Just kind of messed that up. 28 points for Hank Gathers. He's hitting 13 of 25 from the floor. Bo Kimble came out for a little bit. He's also close to 30. He's got 30 points in roughly 30 minutes, 14 of 23 from the floor. Jeff Fryer, I mentioned earlier, 28 points. He's the hot shooter, 10 for 12, 5 of 6 from 3. And off the bench, Tyrell Lowry, who was a great sixth man, has 19 points. The Zags are led by 27 from Drew Timme. Jalen Suggs has mellowed out a little bit, but still has an amazing 36 points on 16 for 26 from the floor. That's a lot of field goal attempts. And so we've had some interesting features here, and we also have a lot of steals. Believe it or not, I just checked in LMU of 1990. They averaged about 14 steals per game, and right at this moment, 5 minutes left, they have 14 steals. So I've reread the steals rules, and I've got 7 steals for Gonzaga, so that's working out just fine. 2 blocks for LMU, 0 for Gonzaga. Gonzaga is actually leading on the rebounds, 40-34, yet has not been able to overcome the prolific scoring of the LMU Lions. So let's get down to these last 5 minutes. I have had to play safe on a lot of players that were in foul trouble. We'll see if some of these guys foul out. He has 4. Per Stumer, the power forward for LMU, he fouled out earlier. He had got his 5th foul on I think it was a loose ball foul, which isn't covered under playing safe. So you can still foul out if you're playing your player safe and trying to avoid getting fouled out of a game, which is pretty realistic. So anyway, I've got Tom Peabody substituting right now for the Stumer, and they're still doing pretty well. They got 5 minutes to go. It is in Gonzaga. Anything's possible. Let's just see what happens. And that's going to be B2. And I think that is Timme right there with the ball. And one moment. All right, Timme with the ball. You look for it as a dice percentage here, and it's 61. And that is a missed shot, and it just says 3-pointer 4. So I always check on a separate card for randomness. It's a 10, so it's just a missed 2-pointer for Drew. Rebound. Defensive G2. That'll be Jeff Fryer. Ball's in LMU's hands. The G1 has the ball. Let's just say Tony Walker over there. Oh, wait a minute. I was going to say it was an E, but he's a D, so I guess he doesn't have to pass the ball off. So it will be on Tony Walker's card. A 48 on Walker is a foul while shooting. So in that situation, his defender is Nembhard. So we use the yellow middle column on Tony Walker to see if the shot is either a 2 or a 3 and whether it is good or not. We got a 19. It's going to be good. And that's a 2-pointer for Tony Walker. And the 19, it's not assisted. We know that within the rules. That was just Nembhard's first foul. Tony Walker, not typically a high scorer, but he's having a decent game. He's got about 10 points. And so he's going to get a free throw. And that's a 30, and that's good. Tony Walker with a 3-point play. $139-121. This scoring is a little bit out of control. LMU can score 140-plus points in a game. They average 122, but Gonzaga is playing a little out of their league with the rush of points. G2. That's Jalen Suggs, who's having a great offensive game. That's a 99. A 99 on Suggs. And that's the highest number. That is a foul. And it'll be fouled by the G1, which is Tony Walker's 4th. And that is the 7th team foul, so we're going to have a 1-on-1 situation. Suggs has to make the first. That one is good. And a 21, that one's good. Well, that was Suggs' first basket in quite a few minutes. He's up to 38 points. And it's 139-123. The B1 is Hank Gathers. And versus defender, let's see. An 18 is a missed shot for Gathers, who's only 2 of 8 from the free throw line. He's about 50% from the field, but not hitting the free throws. Rebound, defensive center, that's Drew Timme. And it says we can run a fast break. Offensive foul G2, that's Jalen Suggs. That'll be 3 on Jalen. And here comes LMU. B2. Looks like Bo Kimble's going to get the ball. Bo's going to go up. 29 on Bo. That is a missed shot and a 3-point attempt, 3-5. And that's a 2. Missed 2-pointer for Bo Kimble. And the rebound. Defensive center, Drew Timme. That's 11 boards for Timme. They need to pick up the pace. Here's the B1. Gonzaga has a B2 and a B3, but no B1. So it's going to go to the center. That's Drew. He's a pretty good scorer. Oops, wrong card. 84. Foul while shooting. And it's going to be a foul on Gathers, his 4th. So we'll see if Timme can make the field goal attempt. We check the yellow column and yellow row in the middle. 0. And that's a 3-point field goal for Drew Timme on a 0. He did not make many threes that year. That was his only number on that column. 3 ball for Drew Timme. And that gives him an even 30 points on the evening. That's amazing. That's a huge shot. Cuts the lead just down to 12, just like that. Oh, I have it on my score sheet as still 13. But anyway, he's going to get one free throw. And that's a 24, and that'll be good. Now it's a 12-point game, so Gonzaga needed that one desperately. We're probably under 3.5 minutes left in the game at the most. Ball goes to the G1. That is Tony Walker, but they're going to use the defender's card, which is Andrew Nembhard. And a 70 is a basket and an assist. So Walker doesn't have any three-point ranges, so I don't need to check for that. So it's a 2-point attempt, good. And the assist will be the F2, which is Peabody. Basket Walker. Makes it 141-127. That was a huge shot, a defensive failure by Gonzaga. Bulldogs have the ball, center versus Gathers. Timme's going to go up strong again. Maybe he can make another three, right? .93, foul while shooting, and that will, oh, no, it's not. It's the defender's card. That's my bad. 93, block shot. That was close to Gathers fouling out. It's Gathers' defensive card column, and it is a block by Gathers. And a miss by Timme. And I can check to see if it's a three-point shot. If you got to check Timme's three-point range on his offensive column, and it's only if he hits if I get a 4 with a 2d6, I got a 7. So that is just a 2-point miss. The rebound ends up in the hands of the offensive F2, which is Corey Kispert. 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 17 points for Kispert today. Everybody seems to have pretty good stats, though, in a 141-127 scoring fest. G1. Nembhard versus Gathers. Gathers going to get tested again. 74. Oh, basket looks like. Just on the last number on Gathers, a 75 would have been a turnover, but it's a basket for Andrew Nembhard. Now, we got to check to see if it is a three-pointer or a two-pointer. So we check the random number 9, and it's just a 4 to 6 for Nembhard. So it's just a two-pointer for Andrew. And so that's good. So in the age of the three-pointer, you really have to check on to see if it's a 3 or a 2 on a lot of plays. It kind of slows the game down just a little bit. .141-129. G2. So that's going to be Jeff Fryer, who is about 10 for 12 from the floor. He has not been able to be stopped. And a 25 on Fryer. It's a missed shot for Fryer. And a 2 to 7 is a 3-point miss for Fryer. So a missed 3-bomb for Fryer. Let's see who crashes the boards here. Offensive center Gathers. Gathers the rebound. Back to the F2. Tom Peabody with the ball, but they're using the defense of Joel Ayayi, and Ayayi has 4 fouls. 86, he forces a miss. An 87, he would have fouled out. Once again, Peabody did not make any threes, but he did miss a threes. If that 2D6 number would have been a 10, it would have been a missed 3-point attempt by Peabody. Good defense, though. Rebound offense again. F1 Kimble. Bo at 35 points a game. He's going to get a chance to put the ball right in the basket if he gets a 2-8. Count it. Bo Kimble, big rebound basket. Just when you think things are going to swing Gonzaga's way, Bo Kimble comes up with a huge play. G1 versus the defensive center again. Wow, we're really testing Gathers out here. So the G1. Nemhard, but it's on Gathers defense. 45. That is a basket with an assist. And a 5 is a made 3-point basket by Andrew Nemhard because he's a 4-6 on his 3-point range. So let's give Andrew 3 points, assisted by F1 if he's 14 plus. And he is. Joel Ayayi is 14 plus. He's 17. So that cuts the lead. Back down to 11. We've got a few cards left. We'll find out how this is going to play out. Mr. Peabody. .52. Missed shot. Not a 3. Peabody 1 for 4. Rebound, the high at the G2 slot. And that is Jalen Suggs, a great rebounding guard. Gives him 6 rebounds, 38 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds for Jalen. So the Zags definitely need to come down and score quickly. B3 is Jalen Suggs. Oops. 21. Foul while shooting. That will be on Fryer. That will be his 4th. So we'll see if the shot falls for Jalen Suggs with the yellow row on his card. That'll be a 2-point miss. So it's going to be 2 shots for Jalen Suggs. Good on the first. He needs to have a 9. Oh, there's the 9 right there. I always pick a different card. Misses the second. So he picks up 1. So it's 143, 133. Rebound offensive G2, it says. Wow. Suggs is grabbing his own rebound. And with a 2-7 roll, he could put it back in and add 2 more points. Unfortunately, it is an 8. Missed by Suggs. Rebound. High at F1. 24. Ooh. It looks like Ayayi is 1 higher than Kimble. Zags keep possession. Ball goes to the B1. I don't think Gonzaga has a B1. Nope, they got a B2 and a B3, so it goes to the F2. That's Corey Kispert. 88. And that's going to be a missed shot for Corey. Missed three-point attempt. It was the 3 to 7 range he has. Ball goes out of bounds, jump ball, possession arrow. Well, since I haven't had that one, I will, I'm not really sure. I don't know if it starts, who got the tap? I think we got the tap, so let's give, it flips back in the start of the second half, I think. I'm just going to give it to Gonzaga. They're behind. They need all the help they can get. Center. That's going to be Drew Timme. And a 44 is no good. Two-point attempt. Rebound to the F2, high at F2. 17, 14. Peabody will grab the rebound. So here comes LMU. Oops. Bo Kimble's the F1. Defender is going to be Ayayi. And 18 on the defense looks like a basket. Basket by Bo. Is it a three-point attempt? Nope, just a two-pointer for Bo Kimble. So that makes the score 145-133. That was a huge shot by Bo Kimble. F2. Kispert's going up. That is a 50. And that's a basket. It's a three-pointer if I roll a 2 to 6. Yes, three-pointer for Corey Kispert. Gives him 20 on the game. 145-136. That fast break stack was just getting too huge. Ball goes to the center. That's Hank Gathers. And a 98 is a turnover. 3 to 4 is an offensive foul. That's an 11. Does Timme have a steal on 11 by any chance? Nope, 7 to 10. So turnover for Hank. Zags with another chance to cut into this deficit. Center Drew. .68. He is fouled. It's going to be on the F2, who's the defender. So it'll be Peabody. He's been a foul machine. Third foul since coming off the bench. 10 team fouls, so it's 2 shots for Drew Timme. .75's no good. Makes the second one. .145-137. That is Jeff Fryer with the ball. Defender is Suggs. And a 29 is a missed shot. Just a missed two-pointer by Fryer. Zags need a rebound here. Offensive center. My goodness. Hank Gather's having a game. 13 rebounds to go with his 28 points. F1 is Bo Kimble. A 13 on Bo. Just a missed two-point attempt because I checked for the 3 to 5 range. You don't have to do that in the era of the non-three-pointer like in the 70s like I played my prior game, but that's all right. Let's see what we got here. Out of bounds, awarded to the away team. A team rebound for LMU. Boy, that hurts. Zags need a turn, just not by getting the loose balls. There's the G2. The G2 is Jeff Fryer. Defender's card is Suggs. 22, another miss. And that's a missed three-point attempt for Fryer, who suddenly has gotten cold. And the rebound. Loose ball foul. Defensive. F1. And that's going to be Joel Ayayi, and I believe that is it for Joel Ayayi, this fifth foul. Yep, 14 points, 13 rebounds for Ayayi. We got to make a substitution. Anton Watson enters the game for Joel Ayayi. LMU retains possession, and Peabody has the ball, but it's going to be the defender, Corey Kispert. 80 is a basket. $147, $137. And the 80 is not an assisted basket, so... Oh, 73-84. Pardon me. It is an assisted basket, so let's check the assist. Will go to the G2. That'll be Fryer. That's 4 assists for Fryer. And Gonzaga's running out of time as they're down by 10 with about a minute left. G2, defender. Suggs. Fryer's defense, he's playing with 4 fouls. 36. That's going to be a basket. Will it be a 3? That's the question. Nope, just a plain basket. Yeah, 36, yeah. So not an assist or anything either. 147, 139. Got an F2. The F2, it does show a question mark there. I will be optional on whether I want to play that or not for the sake of time. F2. Tom Peabody with the ball. We play out this play. And it's a 19 on Peabody's card. Foul while shooting. And it's going to be on Corey Kispert. So he's firing away. He doesn't make any threes, so it's just a matter of whether he made a 2 or not. Whoops, wrong card. Still do that from time to time. Missed. So a missed shot by Peabody, but he's going to go to the line for 2 shots. 96 is no good. And a 40, 31 to 60, 7 to 10. Oh my goodness. 8, he makes 1. $148, $139. Zags need a quick shot here. G2. That's Jalen, who has only 41 points. That's a 54, which is a miss. Miss two-pointer. And the rebound. Defensive center, Hank Gathers. Running the fast break. And that is a turnover for the G2, which is Fryer. And so I do not believe I checked to see if that's a steal by Suggs. We're just going to leave it as a turnover. Gonzaga. F1 versus the defensive center. Well, it's Anton Watson versus Gathers. 56 on the dice. And that's just a plain basket for Watson. Outside chance of a 3 if I roll a 2. No, just 2 points. $10 in the game for Watson. 148, 141 in this wild and crazy game. Down to a couple cards left. F1. Bo Kimble. Defensive F2, which is Corey. 97. And that is a basket for Bo Kimble. Just a 2-point shot. So that'll give LMU a rounded number of 150. And we'll play the final card, F2. Kispert, defensive player, is Peabody. 65. Missed 3-point attempt by Corey Kispert. And there's no cards to draw a rebound from, so that'll be your final score. LMU Lions, 150. Gonzaga Bulldogs, 141 in a wild and crazy game. Played with Bank Shot Basketball by SSG. Game took quite a while to play. I'm still learning it. This is kind of an extreme case, however. I believe adding 13 or 14 cards for every 10 minutes of gameplay extended the game time as well. So I'm still getting used, as you can tell, getting used to the 2 sets of play action cards here, the fast break deck and the standard action deck. Fairly easy to read, but there's a lot of lookups to do, especially with you're playing with the 3-point shot. And both of these teams took about 23 or so. LMU was ahead of its time back in 1990. I think they took about 23 3-pointers. So that's a big thing to think about when you're playing some of these games. You've got the 3-point ball in general. You're just going to be shooting a lot of threes, and that's how it works out. So anyway, I will be back with a couple of stats in a couple of minutes. Gonzaga falls at home 150 to 141. Final numbers from the game. LMU scored 150 points. They actually hit 62 of 110. It does not really show on my score sheet there, for about 56% from the floor. Led by Bo Kimble's 36 points, above his scoring average on the season by 1. He also had 5 rebounds, 17 of 28 from the floor. Hank Gathers, 36 minutes, 28 points on 13 for 26. Couldn't hit a free throw, but he did have 14 rebounds and 3 assists and 3 block shots. Jeff Fryer finished a little bit slow at 10 of 15 from the floor, but still had 28 points, made 5 threes. Terrell Lowry was also a big story with 5 threes off the bench, 19 points in 22 minutes. He was kind of a super sub that year. Gonzaga was led by Jalen Suggs, who threw up 29 shots in 40 minutes, played the whole game. Hit 17 of 29 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the line. Had a pretty darn good game, 7 points, 8 assists, but they just couldn't offensively stop the LMU Lions. Drew Timme tossed in 32 points, had 11 rebounds, but he had a lot of trouble stopping Big Hank Gathers. Corey Kispert had 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, played a pretty efficient game. He did have 5 turnovers, however, and Gonzaga had 19 turnovers on the game. That just did not help. I'm doing a quick rundown. 2, 4, 7, 10, 11, 12, 14, just 14 turnovers for LMU. So there's your game. A lot of points on the board, a lot of shots taken, and a lot of high percentage shooting. Both teams shot about 56% from the floor, and LMU hit 59% of their threes, 10 of 17. Gonzaga was pretty hot on threes as well, hitting 8 of 17. So there you have it, the final from the pool table games arena. Gonzaga falls 150 to 141 to the great scoring of LMU. Have a good day, everyone.